College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Bashir transition free, and he knocks it down. Bashir around the double screen. He's got another one. Abdi Bashir. Nate Johnson. Let him cook, folks. On fire from behind the arc. 6-3 of the 96 of 7 from deep. K-State with 60 points in the second half, the most in the Jerome Tang era as the Wildcats unleashed.
It would be the Memphis Tigers. They're not in the top 25, but they are at the moment the highest ranked among the teams in the group of 5. It's Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama. So the teams that would have the home games in Athens, home game in Lubbock, Oxford, and Provo. You see Georgia's 5, Ole Miss 6, BYU 7, Texas Tech 8. So that would mean that Georgia would play Memphis. They would be the 12th seed, and you see the other matchups, Oregon and Texas Tech, Virginia and Ole Miss, and Notre Dame and BYU. That's how it would stop for right now.
Happy Wednesday, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. I'm the host of this program, joined in the studio by Landon Winkler. He's over in the corner. He's keeping the video feed online and, in fact, is doing some work behind me right now to make sure that we do look good on camera. Everybody say thank you, Landon. Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. You heard the sounds of the past 24 hours just now. It's how we start every day. I don't know if I've ever had to battle with the violin sounds going on over the music that I have as playing as the intro of the show. I don't know. That was an interesting battle that we just had to fight. But we got it done, and I don't think it sounded half bad. Your sounds of the past 24 hours. Kansas State was down by 1 at halftime to UNC Greensboro. But thanks to efforts from P.J. Haggerty, Nate Johnson, and Abdi Bashir, the Wildcats scored 60 points in the second half to win 93-64. I watched this game, and first of all, kind of hilarious the way that those three names that I mentioned, P.J. Haggerty, Nate Johnson, and Abdi Bashir, were the big three for K-State. On yesterday's episode, I spoke with Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, and he actually referenced me asking him this question during the broadcast because I was listening to him as I was watching the game on TV, and that was kind of a cool moment. But listening to those guys go off, on yesterday's show, Wyatt told me, I asked him what, everybody knows P.J. Haggerty is going to be the guy, right? He's the 1A, he's Batman, right? But on K-State's roster, who's Robin? Who's going to be the next man up? Who's going to be the guy? If P.J. Haggerty is scoring 15 to 20 points, who's the guy behind him who's going to score 10 to 12 to 15 to kind of balance things out? And Wyatt told me, well, I know you asked for one. I'm going to give you two. And the two he gave me were Nate Johnson and Abdi Bashir, who in the second half especially went off. I think Bashir scored 16, and Johnson scored low 20s as well. I think Haggerty had somewhere in the mid-20s. So that did it. That was a hard-fought win, especially in the second half for Kansas State. As I mentioned, down by 1 at halftime of that game, but they won the second half 60 to 31, I think, and they wind up winning by 29 points. Yeah, that makes sense. So a fantastic showing by Kansas State. Jerome Tang gets off to a 1-0 start. Kansas State, I don't know if they're a tournament team or not. I think they've got some pieces. I think they're going to have to get lucky, a little bit lucky, in a very tough conference. But I think that Kansas State, you can't argue with 1-0, man. You know, not everybody gets to start out 1-0. UNC Greensboro doesn't. Your other sound of the past 24 hours, the first edition of the college football playoff rankings were unveiled last night. How much do they mean right now? Not a thing, but we at least get something to talk about. If the playoffs happen today, Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, and Alabama would be the top 4 seeds and hold first-round byes. That's 2 from the Big Ten and 2 from the SEC. In the first round, number 5 Georgia would host number 12 Memphis. Number 6, Ole Miss would host number 11, Virginia. Number 7, BYU would host number 10, Notre Dame. And number 8, Texas Tech would host number 9, Oregon. So you heard me mention 2 Big 12 teams in there as well. Texas Tech at 8, BYU at 7. They would both be hosting first-round games. These numbers are going to continue to flux. I don't think they're going to have 2 teams from these 2 conferences be the top 4 seeds. I think that probably these teams are going to play each other in their respective conference championships. The winner will hold on to a first-round bye, and the loser will have to play a first-round game. Now, who does that bump up? I don't know if you go with the other 2 major conference champions, whoever wins the Big 12, which I don't know. I think that feels like that's going to be BYU or Texas Tech, which makes sense. They're 7-8 right now. Do you let them jump the other major SEC teams that wouldn't make the conference title game? I certainly hope so. Because if Georgia and Ole Miss, whichever one of them, between Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, and Ole Miss, one of them is going to win the SEC title, you would think, at this point in the season. You would think the loser of that SEC title game gets bumped out of the top 4. Do you then upgrade somebody who didn't even make the conference championship game into the top 4? I personally hope not. I don't want to see that. I think that you should win your way in, and I don't think you should be punished for making your conference championship game and rewarded for not making your conference championship game. As long as we are playing conference championship games, that's kind of the way I'm going to have to look at it, is that you are rewarded for winning, and you are punished for losing, and you are also equally punished for not making it in the first place. Does that make any sense? You can't talk back to me, but I hope I'm making sense here. But either way, looking at the Big 12, BYU and Texas Tech at number 7 and number 8, so they're well represented. We didn't have sounds for these, no major press conferences, no major sound bites from the news, but stuff that I want to talk about here. First of all, the NFL trade deadline was last night. Some moves at the buzzer that were kind of interesting. The Colts acquire Sauce Gardner from the Jets, one of the top cornerbacks in the game. And the Cowboys acquire Quinnen Williams, one of the top defensive tackles in the game, also from the Jets. The Jets are bad, and they're selling off some top pieces on a very good defense. And that makes sense. We talk about it with baseball, right? Buyers and sellers at the deadline. And the Jets are sellers. And now Quinnen Williams goes from a not good team to a team that's also not good, but they're not good because their defense is bad, and he's a really good defensive player that can kind of, alleviate some of those ailments. That's the hope, at least. And the Colts are going all in on a playoff push. I think they traded in, was it 2 first-round draft picks for Gardner? Gardner, again, one of the top defensive backs in the NFL. And he goes from the 1-7 Jets to a team that feels like a favorite to make the Super Bowl right now. Certainly in the top 3 in the AFC. I think by record, they might be the top team in the AFC. Either way, it was a good night's rest for Sauce Gardner. He wakes up 7-1 after going to sleep 1-7. So pretty good for that. In more local news, again, didn't have a sound for this, but I want to talk about it. I think it bears talking about. Salvador Perez was at the end of his contract with the Kansas City Royals, and rather than elect to go to free agency, the Royals have given him an extension. He is now signed through 2027. That's a 2-year deal. He will remain with the Royals through 2027. He'll make $25 million over that time. I think that's a very easy decision. If you're the Royals, Salvador Perez has remained very consistent. No, he's not the player that he was. He's not the World Series MVP that he was in 2015. But still, he's a 20 home run a year guy at least. That's part of the thing that made him so spectacular with the Royals is he's now hit 20 or more home runs in 9 consecutive years when he has played in the full season. So he's a good power guy, and he's the leader in that clubhouse, man. 4th team captain in team history is it goes a long way. Salvador Perez back in a Royals uniform. I don't know if he's 35 now. He'll be 37 at the end of this contract. Some basic math there for you. And I don't know if he plays past 37, but look, baseball is a sport where you can. I mean, if he continues producing at the level he's at now, I certainly think he is good enough to do that. So But for the foreseeable future, Salvador Perez back behind the plate in that DH spot when he's not catching for the Kansas City Royals. And they're going to have to make some moves in the offseason. I think that their trade deadline, I still love their trade deadline acquisitions. I still think Mike Yastrzemski was supposed to just kind of be a league average player, and he kind of caught fire over the last couple of months for Kansas City. And I think if he can continue that, I wonder, do the Royals look at that and go, okay, yeah, we're good at that outfield spot? What moves do the Royals make is the question I'm asking. And, their infield is pretty solid with Garcia and Witt and India and Pasquantino. I have to think that they don't make a ton of moves there. Maybe they feel like they can upgrade over Jonathan India, but, I mean, come on, can you really? We'll see what moves they make. I think they're going to make moves for pitchers. That would be me if I was the Royals. But still have to wait a little while before free agency opens up. I'm sure the Royals will be active, though. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend. Also brought to you by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street. Also brought to you by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the best in the country. On today's show, we're going to talk to somebody who I'm sure is a big fan of that Barton Cougar Booster Club. Coach Jeffrey Combs, head coach of Barton Community College men's basketball, joins us on the show later over the phone. We'll talk with him. But before we do that, we're going to talk to head coach of the Hoisington Cardinals, Zach Baird. Got a win over Halstead last week. They will host Hillsboro on Friday. And had Coach Baird in the studio for that. So you'll get to hear that conversation on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day, live from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGBN 95.5 FM.
Gobble up the savings at C&E Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor. And don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by some members of the Hoisington Cardinal coaching staff. We got head coach Zach Baird along with defensive coordinator Matt Kelsch in the studio with us right now. Coach, we'll start with you, Coach Baird. You're the offensive guy, so we'll start with the offensive stuff. 12 yards per play against Halstead. It's a playoff game. Yeah, you're the 2 seed facing an overmatched team, but I felt like this was a team that just didn't go away.
Yeah, anytime you play a CKL opponent, it's a tough football league, and I thought Halstead did a great job. I thought their coaches did a great job getting their guys to play hard. And they've got a young team. I think they had like 21 sophomores, and a lot of those guys played. So, give those guys credit. They played extremely hard, and I was happy with our guys. I thought, for the first playoff game, we've had a lot of teams over the years come out and play with some jitters, and so I kind of actually expected that, and that wasn't the case. So we got 8 seniors. They do a great job, and I think Mason Martin does a good job for us in the huddle. And it just gives us a sense of confidence and composure, and then Tay was awesome.
That was going to be my next topic. Is Taylor Morales had, first of all, statistically, 15 carries, over 250 yards, 4 touchdowns, and one of the crazier touchdown runs that we've seen so far from him this year. I went back and I watched the play that he had and the play that Mason Martin had, their respective touchdown runs. And just, I don't know how they got there, Coach, but I mean, you've talked about this kid all year and the spark he's provided, and just, another crazy night from him.
Yeah, when we got Tay as a freshman, like, we could see it. He was going to be really, really good, and knew he was going to be a special player before it was all said and done. And, he takes his zone dive play, and we block it all right, and you're thinking it's probably a gain of 6 or 7, and he just doesn't quit. Like, he plays the game the right way. I mean, it's like he's in a different mode, and just finds a way to break out of the scrum, and then he's got the free safety to beat, who's a nice player for him, and that kid makes a great effort and tries to make the tackle, and Tay just refuses to go down. And then Marty can run the ball. We just haven't done it with him yet. Trying to keep him as fresh as possible, but there's going to be a time where Marty's going to run the rock, and Marty runs extremely well. So it was one of those deals where stuff broke down, and Marty just made a play, and it was a heck of a play.
We talk a lot about averages on this show. Haven't spoken about it with you much this year, I don't think. But, 12 yards a play, Coach. That it's hard to lose football games when you can put up those kinds of numbers.
Yeah, so I thought the offensive line played really well again. And, I thought our blocking on the perimeter, I thought Carson Mason, Brody Fonenstill, Caden Chambers, C.J. Bryant's one of our better perimeter blockers we've had in 12 years. We throw a now screen that goes for like 70-some yards, and Carson scores it. So I think it's just a total team effort of guys playing with great effort and just block until the whistle blows. We got Brody Corbett a couple times running 50 yards trying to make one last block. And when we talk about Cardinal football, that's kind of what we're talking about, and just that kind of effort. Every play, we're not always going to be the most talented team. Some years we're better than others, but that needs to be the standard, and that's got to be what we hold our guys to. And I just really excited and really proud of our group, especially the second half, how hard we played.
Let's talk to Coach Kelsch. Coach, we've spoken a lot on this show. Haven't spoken with you yet, but the front seven that you're in charge of this year is just filthy. And the guys you've got up there, how do you use those guys in different ways and get the best out of them?
Well, we're lucky because we got older guys that are playing D-line for us. They're led by Hoff and obviously Colin at D-end. And both those guys are special, but our outside backers are special. They're seniors this year, and when we run an odd front, we run multiple fronts, but when we run an odd front, our outside backers are extremely important. They got a lot on their plate. So Tay and CJ, man, they do a great job for us, and that's why we're able to run an odd front, is because you got those guys up front, and then our outside backers. Our inside backers are both juniors. They're doing a good job. And then you got Brody Fonenstill. He's a dude.
He's an eraser.
yeah, absolutely. So, and we're lucky to have really good kids that are big, strong, and physical, and we've had a pretty good year so far with the front seven.
You had some injuries on the back end, both starting safeties out for this game, and that gave a little bit of trouble. But overall, Coach, I think you overcame.
Yeah, when you lose 2 starting safeties in one game, and then we had another safety go down during the game, he was able to play through it. But it's like, oh my gosh, you at our level, you only have so many Friday night guys, and so we were trying to piece together a little bit. I thought I was happy with all of our guys. I thought they played well. They competed. That's all you can ask. Yeah, we gave up a few, but it is what it is. Hopefully we can get a few of those guys back, or a couple of those guys back later on. But I was happy with our guys. They compete, and that's all you can ask for.
Something I noticed just looking at the stats for this game, Thomas Higgins, one of those backup safeties, was the leading tackler for this game, and I think that kid he's kind of come on late in the season and just a sophomore, but kind of projects as being another guy who can be special for you guys.
Yeah, Tommy does a good job. He does everything he's asked of and does a good job. Coach Ingram's done a good job with him this year, and credit to those guys is just keep working and next man up mentality. And Tommy, everybody loves Tommy. Tommy's a great kid, and I was happy for him having a big game for us in a big situation, and he did a great job. Came downhill and did what he was supposed to, and so I was very happy with Tommy.
And the name that we kept calling out on the broadcast, and Gene, you and I spoke about this several times on the actual air. Corbin Halindi was everywhere in this game. He's had a great season, but this game felt like the best he's had so far.
Yeah, Corbin's been banged up a little bit, and so he played well. It's a kid that physically, he fits the part, and he's a big physical kid, and so his foot's been bothering him a little bit, but he's doing a good job, and he does everything he's asked. Like I said, we have great kids. They do everything. They're kind of people pleasers, right? And so he's definitely one of them that wants to make you happy, and he does a great job. I couldn't be more happy for him.
We're down to 16 teams now in 2A, and got Hillsboro coming in. Tell me about him. I haven't seen anything from Hillsboro yet, so what should I expect on Friday?
Well, they're 53% run, so they're pretty even, left and right. They're even. They're a talented team. They got a lot of weapons everywhere. The quarterback is special. The running back is really special. I think he's committed to Washburn at linebacker, but he is fast. Those guys in the backfield are fast. They have a lot of weapons on the edge. They look long on film. They're going to be able to make plays in the air, and they spread it around. It's not one guy. It's multiple guys that get it, and I think formation-wise, they're anywhere from empty to double tight. You don't know what you're going to get. And so on Friday, we're going to have to be ready for anything, and we'll find out real quick who they're trying to target and where they're trying to hit us at. But the quarterback and running back are two special players.
Let's talk to Coach Baird here, get his final thoughts before we say goodbye for the day. Hey, Coach, like I asked Coach Kelch, you're down to 16. You hate to call any win an easy win, but it feels like the easier wins are over now, and you're down to teams that can compete.
Yeah, we've been fortunate enough to been able to make runs in the past in the playoffs, so our guys understand that anytime you can win a playoff game and you end another team's season, it's a good one, whether you played it really clean or not. The other teams just finished their season, and that's tough to deal with, even as the winning team. You feel bad for those guys. Understand those seniors are taking those pads off for the last time. It's got to be a different level of focus, and it's got to be a different level of intensity throughout the week. And then, throughout the year, you try to save bodies and make sure you're as fresh as possible. But like we told the guys, that time's kind of come to an end. Like you'll start to see older guys start playing more on specials, and it's just like we're fighting for our football lives. And it's nice to know that we've got 8 seniors that are good leaders, and we feel good about it. And Coach Kelch does a fantastic job. The rest of the coaches, the position coaches, do a great job. So feel good about where we're at. But we know at this point in the season, one bad game can end your year. So we've got to have all hands on deck and just continue to get better each and every day. And on Friday, play as hard as we possibly can, try to execute at the highest level we can, and let chips fall where they may.
Coach, thanks for coming in today.
Thanks, Brent. Appreciate it.
Looking forward to Friday. That's Coach Zach Baird and defensive coordinator Matt Kelch joining us here on Sports Day. Following this Hoisington team has been so much fun. They're so fun to watch, and I've brought it up a couple of times on the broadcast. I brought it up a couple of times speaking with them weekly. But let me adjust my microphone here. There we go. See my pretty face. The way that offense is designed, what the flex bone triple option type stuff that they run was designed to do, what it was created to do, was gain 5 to 6 yards at a time, drag out long drives, establish the run, And if you get an explosive play, great. You're never going to turn down a 50-yard touchdown run. But it's not designed to do that. Everybody's in tight, and you're supposed to run it up the middle, and you're supposed to just get chunks and control the ball and run the clock and control the clock, things like that. That team is putting up 70-point games. You're not meant to put up 70-point games with that style of offense. And somehow, part of it is they do some other stuff. They will spread it out a little bit. But the way that offense runs and the athletes they have, I think that's probably the most important part, is just they've got so many guys that are excellent with the ball in their hands. And obviously Taylor Morales, the headliner, running for 250 yards and 4 scores. But you got Carson Mason, you got Brody Fonensteel, and this is just the team I'm most qualified to talk about, so I talk about him a lot. But they're super fun to watch. Looking at K-Preps right now, Hoisington was at number 4 in 2A for most of the year. They have bumped up to 3 after Osage City took a loss. Osage City lost their quarterback late in the season. Don't know if he'll be back in the playoffs or not. I don't think so. So I think Osage City now down their starting quarterback. They fall to 4. They did win last week. Hoisington bumps up to 3. They will face Hillsboro on Friday. Look at the other 2A rankings. Nemaha Central and Southeast of Saline have been number 1 and number 2 in some order for the entire year. These two are, they're monstrous. Everybody around here knows that. That's going to be, if Hoisington does make the semifinal, they're either going to have to beat Southeast of Saline to make the state title game or beat the team that beat Southeast of Saline to make the state title game. So it's pretty much, it looks as though Hoisington and Southeast of Saline are on a collision course for that semifinal. You hate that they both come out of the West. But on the other end, you've also got Nemaha Central, who's number 2. They're also 9-0, and it looks as though they are destined to meet either Southeast Saline or Hoisington in the state title game. And obviously I'm hoping Hoisington wins that matchup if and when it happens. But just looking at the bracket right now, it certainly seems that those teams are all on a collision course with each other. And, of course, we'll see what happens. Osage City is number 4, Garden Plain. Garden Plain is, if they beat Beloit, again, that's a 5-6 matchup. If they are I can't remember what that is, but it's a very tight matchup as far as seeding. Garden Plain is 5th. If they beat Beloit and Hoisington beats Hillsboro, that would be the matchup next week. And Garden Plain is a pretty good team. You would expect Hoisington to win it, but still, it feels as though there's a line after those top 2, Saline, Southeast Saline and Nemaha Central, and then 3, Hoisington kind of in a class, and there's another gap, and then you get to Osage City and Garden Plain. At least that's how it feels to me. Could be wrong. But that's what's going on there. Let's go ahead and look at Class 5A, since I know we've got Great Bend fans listening as well. St. Thomas Aquinas has been number 1 all year long. They remain number 1. Great Bend comes in at number 2. Great Bend was at 3 for most of the year. Hayes was at number 2. Great Bend goes into Hayes. They get that win, pull away in the second half. They bump up to 2, and Hayes falls to 5th. St. James Academy comes in at 3, Mill Valley at 4. Great Bend still, I believe, the only undefeated team. I guess not still, but now the only undefeated team in 5A. They are number 2, and they continue to just get big leads in the first half, and then kind of coast with the JV guys in the second. They'll look to do that against Bishop Carroll. But Coach Beck told me last week that that game against Newton, you knew Newton was going to struggle. They were winless on the year, and Great Bend wins it 49-0. I think they were up 42-0 at half. You knew that Great Bend had a dominant matchup in that one, but Coach Beck told me last week, look, you're past the easy wins now. And I talked about it with Coach Baird during that conversation as well. The easy wins are over. You got to go and you're going to play teams that don't want to lose and are not used to losing. Teams that are playing now are winning football teams. And so you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to execute and you're going to have to play well and probably play for four full quarters. And that is something that, just looking at the teams that we've talked about, Great Bend and Hoisington, teams that aren't used to playing 4 quarters, they're going to have to get used to that very quickly as we continue into Week 10. It is officially regardless of who you ask, playoff time. And Great Bend and Hoisington, highly seeded teams. They're looking to make those state title games. They're looking to raise trophies at the end of the year. We got to take our next break. When we come back, a coach that really likes to raise trophies, Coach Jeremy Combs, joins us over the phone to preview their matchup tonight against Mineral Area out in Missouri. We also talk about a couple of games they played out in Arizona over the past weekend, and we'll talk a little bit about the team as a whole. Sports Day is brought to you in part by Kern Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also, by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. We'll take our next break. On the other side, Coach Jeremy Combs joins me. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the Rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by head coach of Barton Community College.
Sports Day today brought to you in part by
Holmes. Coach, thanks so much for taking the time. How are things with you?
Everything's been good. You know, we had a lot of travel early. As you know, the Kirkman is being renovated, and they're trying to finish that up right now. So we wanted to schedule our first few games on the road and then be able to come back to it when it was done. And so it's been, long trip to Arizona. Now we're over here in Missouri, and so guys are a little tired, but hopefully this makes us a little stronger, and we'll be road warriors that will help us throughout the year.
Let's talk about the state of the roster right now. It's a new season, and things turn over so quickly at the junior college level. What are some of the old names people will recognize coming back on this team that people need to know about?
Yeah, Sebastian Muchis will be back. He's a big-time player. A kid that's getting a ton of looks from Division I schools. He'll be he should be an all-conference player, if not a potential All-American. Eris Rodriguez is back, was an all-conference player. and a kid that, again, will be, should be up for an All-American spot. And then we've got some kids, Pavel, who will be back, and he is, he's a kid that had a lot of experience playing, and he's been playing great this year. He's really stepped up. It's my wife and I talk about the step that freshmen make from the freshman year to the sophomore year, and he's really made a huge jump. But I think that experience, from his freshman year has really helped him. Majak Chol is another one that'll be back. He's been playing great. He had a great game against, a kid that a lot of people think will be one of the best bigs in the country at Eastern Arizona. And, I thought he got the best of him down there. And so I thought that, he had a great showing. He got a bunch of offers after that ball game. And so those guys, give us that leadership, and those are the faces that they're going to recognize.
And let's look at the other side of that. What are some of the new names that people need to know about?
Yeah, we've got, several guys. Jaden Ramirez, who's a point guard from New York, and, he's a fantastic player. He's my type of guy. He's that hard-nosed defensive guy that, can get in the paint, shoots it well. But the biggest thing is he's just going to defend this tail off. And I think guys, people are going to really like him just because of how hard he plays. Blake Rucker's another one that he's going to be good for us. He played at in Wichita, and he's a Kansas kid, so obviously I think people around are really going to like him. But he can also shoot the heck out of basketball, which brings a lot of excitement to the team. And so just several guys like that will be back, or that are new faces, but faces that, again, I think are going to be impactful and guys are going to really like.
Let's talk about that trip to Arizona. You went 2-0 in those games, including a win over the number 15 team in the country. A bit of a nail-biter at the end, Coach, but you're able to pull it out.
Yeah, it was a hostile environment. That was the big thing. Their fans were right on top of you. The court seemed pretty small, and they went. They had the first game of the Classic that day was at 3. And then they postponed ours till 7. I think they were trying to get as many fans in the gym as they could. And again, so it was a hostile environment, but our guys handled it really well. And they made a run early, and then we made our run, and we pushed it, I think, at 19. And then maybe some calls didn't go our way, whatever it was. We turned it over a little bit. It was kind of on us, and we kind of let them back in the ball game, but finished it and was able to pull out the win.
And let's talk about some of the decisions you made, Coach. You look at the minutes, and of course, just scoreboard watching here, pretty shallow as far as the rotation. Your starters are getting a bunch of minutes right now, and only 1 or 2 guys are coming off the bench getting extended minutes for you.
Yeah, no, I think a lot of that, comes down to some foul trouble and different things like that happen. And we're playing. I'd argue with some people that this is probably one of the tougher schedules out of any team in the country. You're seeing right now Jayhawk teams that are playing JVs, or they're playing Division II schools or whatnot. And we wanted to go out and make sure that we were playing not just Division I teams, but teams that are going to be ranked. And so, even tonight's game, Mineral Area is a team that's, receiving votes. And so we wanted to have that tough schedule. And, sometimes you got to shorten that roster just a little bit, the rotation down, just to, make sure we're staying in the ball game.
But something that stands out to me, Coach, is the amount of size that you have on this squad. You mentioned you have the 7-footer in Chol, but also your starting guards and the guys that play for you right now. I think the shortest among them is 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, no, we like big guys. I like to play inside, outside, but defensively having long guys really helps. Whether that's trapping, or being able to switch ball screens, things like that, kind of how we play. And so, other than our point guards, obviously Harris is a big guard, and Noah Williams is a big guard that came in as a 6'7" kid, and so we want to have the size, and we feel like the good thing about them too, our big guys, is they can run, and they run the floor well, and they defend, they move their feet, and so again, there's multiple things that we can do with them defensively that I really like.
You talked earlier about being able to go on runs and other teams going on runs. Basketball, that's become the popular saying, is that the sport is a game of runs. How do you spark runs for your team?
Yeah, so we're basically, we're trying to, especially with a young team and a team that, a new team, they're new to each other and things like that. We have what's called the next play mentality. We have to move on to the next play. We're going to make mistakes. It's a game of mistakes. I don't know if I've ever watched a game and seen a team that has not turned the ball over or, did something, did everything correct. So at the end of the day, we need to move on from those mistakes. And, basically we're trying to force them into making more mistakes, obviously, as well. And that's with our defense. But the thing is, for us, we just really focus on moving on to the next play and not letting that turn into, 2, 3, 4, 5 mistakes in a row.
Coach, you're on the road tonight at Mineral Area. Tell us about that squad.
Yeah, so they're super talented. Last year was his first year. He was able to come in and get some guys, and he's got some guys back from last year's team. But he brought in some guys this year that are super talented as well. They're athletic. They're big as well, like we are. So it should be a good matchup, but they really want to attack. They want to play fast. They're also a defensive-oriented team, so I'm expecting it to be a hard-nosed battle, and obviously anything on the road is going to be really tough. So we'll have to be at our best tonight if we want to get a win.
Coach, looking forward to having you in the studio, looking forward to watching your team play live, and looking forward to talking to you again.
All right, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. That is Coach Jeremy Combs joining us here on Sports Day. Coach Jeremy Combs of Barton Community College joining us on the show. Yeah, well, actually, before I talk about how excited I am to call Barton basketball, Alan Clark, head coach of the women's team, will be joining us sometime next week. Still don't have that nailed down, but to let you know, that will happen sometime next week for us. But Coach Combs, super cool to talk to, and I watched this team play East Arizona. They were live streaming it on YouTube. I'm sure you can go back and find the archive. But watching this team play, I was like, okay, yeah, this is going to be a little bit different. I've called a lot of high school basketball. I've called some very good high school basketball players. This is going to be a different level, and I knew it was going to be, and I'm super excited about it. But, yeah, the men's team, they are on the road tonight at Mineral Area. They went 2-0 in Arizona. Again, they played number 15 Eastern Arizona College, got the win, and so they are bumped up from 18 to 15. So they are now the number 15 team in JUCO. The first game I call will be Tuesday night, 7:30 p.m. tip, as they host State Fair Community College. That's their first home game. So looking forward to seeing the gym. So looking forward to seeing the crowd, and just kind of dipping my feet into the world of junior college athletics as a play-by-play guy, a full-time play-by-play guy. I did a little bit of it, not at basketball, but did a little bit of collegiate sports when I was at Auburn. But to be the actual voice is just going to be so daggum cool. The women's team, they are on the road. They just played out of state. I can't remember exactly which state they were in. They are currently on their way to Florida. They're playing in St. Petersburg against St. Petersburg College and Hillsborough Community College. And they'll be back on Friday. That will be their first home game. They'll play Grayson College. Meanwhile, Barton will be the men will be playing Northern Oklahoma College Enid. I will not be on the call for that. Hopefully, Hoisington will be playing. And if Hoisington is playing, I'll be on the call for them. But we're getting started up, man. Next round, next couple of steps coming up with Barton basketball, and I'm just over the moon excited about that. And again, Coach Alan Clark will be joining us during a show next week, and I'm very excited about that as well. Sports Day is brought to you by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank local, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. Trying to think of what else I need to talk about before we take our next break. I think that's it, though. Yeah, I think that's all we've got. I'll look at the TV schedule tonight, and I'll let y'all know if anything interesting is happening when I come back. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Gobble up the savings at C&D Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local equity bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you. Big thanks to Zach Baird, head coach of the Hoisington Cardinal football team, and Jeremy Combs, head coach of Barton Community College men's basketball, for joining me on today's episode. Always enjoy talking to Coach Baird and looking forward to getting to know Coach Combs for sure. Sports Day is brought to you by Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. There's that word again, and I nailed it the second time. Also brought to you in part by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. So, as far as what to watch tonight, we're just going through the TV guide here. There's some stuff. If you like the NBA, there's a really good game coming on tonight at 6:30. Timberwolves at Knicks. There's some storylines in there, some really great players. You're going to enjoy that one if you just like the game of basketball. I do know that if you're a fan of an NBA team around here, you like the Oklahoma City Thunder 9 times out of 10. They play the Portland Trail Blazers. That game tips off at 9 p.m. It's over on the West Coast. If you're interested in that, you certainly can watch it. The NHL, I know nothing about hockey, and so I cannot preview if these matchups are good or not, but there are some NHL games on tonight. They start at 7. The last one, puck drops at 10. So if you're into the NHL, there you go. There's your NHL fix. College football tonight, I know nothing about either of these teams, but I do know that it's Wednesday night action. Both of these games kick off at 7 p.m. on ESPN2. It's Northern Illinois and Toledo. Toledo's had some really good teams over the past couple of years. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to be solid. I honestly couldn't tell you how they've been. I know that their head coach has come up in coaching search rumors a couple of times, but I think that's. I don't know if they're at that level right now, but hey, it's college football, man. Why not? And over on ESPNU, Kent State and Ball State, battle of the two mid-major state teams. I don't think either of these teams is good, even as a mid-major. I know that Auburn played Ball State earlier this year, and that's about the extent of my knowledge. It's one of Auburn's 4 wins so far on the year. So, couple of college football games for you. If you like college basketball, I'm looking. There's a lot going on tonight, and I don't know if any of these games are any good. But I'm trying to look for teams that I recognize here. It's a whole bunch of mid-majors is the problem. Oh, Tarleton's playing LSU. If you just like big brands, you can go watch Tarleton play LSU. LSU kind of been on the backslide since they fired Will Wade. Kind of were forced to fire Will Wade, but since then they I like the hire. I can't remember who they hired, who the last guy was after Will Wade, but I liked that hire, but boy, it has not worked out, and I don't know who their head coach is right now. And that's kind of the only big name in college basketball. There's also some women's basketball on tonight, if that's your bag. Don't think there's going to be any major team. Oh, hold on. Speaking of women's basketball, I wanted to talk about this, but I just forgot until right now. And I want to get the score right here. Kansas State women's basketball opened their season against Omaha last night, and the Omaha Mavericks had a really bad time. K-State won this game 100-35. It was 31-5 at the end of the first quarter, and from there, K-State just kind of kept them at arm's length, and they outscored. Looking at point totals in quarters alone. Outscored them 31-5 in the first quarter, 19-4 in the second, 23-15 in the third, and 27-11 in the fourth quarter, all adding up to a 135 K-State win in the sport of women's basketball. It was a pretty nobody for Omaha scored in double digits, and K-State had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 girls score more than 10. So an absolutely fantastic showing from K-State women's basketball. That's going to do it here for us. Big thanks to Zach Baird. Big thanks to Jeremy Combs. Big thanks to Landon Winkler for running the cameras and the video feed. Big thanks to you for watching and listening. And I'm Brant Daughtry. Thank you for having me. Hey, we'll do it all again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Sports Day right here on 1590 KVGBN 95.5 FM.